know, I feel like if Season 3 was the season filled with death and despair, then Season 4 is the one where we have hope and then it's taken away from us. Especially the last episode when we were so close on delivering the barrels to Raven that she needs to send the ship up. And the simulation numbers looked good, but the one barrel with the arrow inside, that didn't look so good, did it? And now it's a bit of a setback, like a lot of things have been through Season 4 on the 100 in terms of trying to beat this incoming apocalypse. So, yeah, it's looking good, isn't it? And we're not even, I think this is the halfway point of Season 4 anyways, this episode, which is Gimme Shelter. So, it wasn't even the halfway point and we've already had a bunch of setbacks from the hydro generator right up until the barrel with the arrow inside that leaked, I think the hydrazine, yeah. So, after that little kerfuffle with Tree Crew after they found out that we were harboring, not Sky Crew members, we're not having that again, but we were harboring Asgetta, as they are, I guess, helping out since, well, they basically got nothing to lose and they may as well help out anyway. So that's great stuff for Rowan, like I said. But yes, hello everyone, Liam Catterson here. We're on episode number 7 of the 100 Season 4. This season has absolutely been rocking so far. I'm absolutely loving everything about this season. I'm loving... the plot is absolutely... spectacular. Like I said, we've had a lot of opportunities where hope has absolutely been taken away from us, but it just keeps adding to the intrigue and the tension, especially when we're on a clock of 2 months, maybe less, it will be less as episodes go on, but I'm guessing a month and a half perhaps, who knows. And it's not just the incoming apocalypse that could decimate our favourite characters. But whilst we're trying to work on the Nightblood situation, we're already having tension there with the strokes that Raven and Abby are having, and after a consequence on removing Ali's hold in Season 3. So, yeah, I really, really am enjoying the stakes we're getting in this season, and it's just absolutely been great, especially that, as well as for certain characters like Octavia, we're seeing the ramifications on her bloodlust over Pike really kick her up the arse, and it's just been an absolute treat so far. So I'm absolutely enjoying what we're getting with Season 4 at the minute. But yeah, this is the 7th episode of the 100 Season 4. The full reaction will be on Patreon. Looking forward to this. Let's go. Well, what's everyone doing? They're creating a bit of a shit show, aren't they? Oh my god! Is that right? No. Oh, he's gonna leave. He's gonna be left to die. Jesus. Oh Lord. They gotta help, haven't they? Oh my god. So it's no laughing matter for Jasper.
It means we're stuck in here until the storm passes. Doesn't mean we need to talk.
Ooh, I love the tattoo on her arm. Yeah, the horsey! We don't want that to succumb to the black rain.
Why don't you make a fire? You're good at that.
Shade.
You have to expose a human being to enough radiation that would implode every single cell in their body. That's what's coming for us.
I know that.
Poor Maury, she thinks she's gonna be the guinea pig.
We have no choice.
No.
No. We have to make a choice. Who do we test?
Yep.
Maury.
Who's gonna be the lucky person?
Tell me what the hell happened.
It's not effective, is it? Shit. Yeah. Good protection, the suits.
Right. Suit's useless.
Yep.
You gotta come back in.
You want a refund on that, Bellamy?
You can read.
No, I know what you're thinking, Clark. Why are all the good ones taken, right?
Good Ramsey is rare. John would be celebrated by any clan.
Yeah, he's
Is this a different house or is this the same one he was in for 90 days? Or around then, should I say.
Oh my god. Wow.
Oh, they're like a good couple. Oh, like a household couple. Awesome.
I'm the outsider, John, the freak trainer.
Hey, slow down.
Oh,
slow down.
you're not
Look
a
at me.
freak.
Look at me. Breathe.
I wish they would do some kind of simulation numbers and all of that, rather than talk about we need someone. This is heaven for Clark. Now she just needs Lexa here. See, I would have just laid on the bed and then just passed out there and then. Because I think it's the first comfy bed that Clark would have experienced. Just watch out. Monster's going to be hiding behind the window trying to get in the house. I'm right on one of the two. Ah, shit.
Wait, take it easy.
Oh shit, okay, you scared the shit out of me. Oh, is this another scavenger? Oh shit. Oh, get lost. Go on, Murphy.
He's not alone. We need to know now. Here, Murphy, take my gun. Tie him up. Now there's a medicine cabinet upstairs. Can I fix this? Murphy, don't let him go anywhere. Will you, Murphy?
Not a chance.
He's not gonna let
Some fun.
There we go, Murphy. I love that. I love that sadistic attitude.
Stuck in the mud. We'll use the winch to get me out.
Negative.
Yeah, you can't go out.
Soon I can hear the ring of the radio.
Bellamy, don't do this. No reckless decisions. He's itching.
And when the rain stops, I can dig out.
Oh, Belle.
No! No!
This hurts.
He will strike. He will kill us all.
Oh, man, I feel bad for him.
But I'm not gonna let that happen, Clark. Because today, I am the commander of death.
Ooh. I mean, you can't blame what's going, especially if Bayless has been a thorn in her side, especially with her deficit.
Please. That's it. Find the right angle.
Wait, what?
You'll kill him.
That's the idea.
Well, she did say she was the commander of death. Oy, oy, oy.
What if his death could save us all?
He's the sacrifice.
Go home, Ilian. You're not a murderer.
It sucks, but it's.
You feel the way you're supposed to feel after you take a life. I feel nothing. Now go back to your stupid shape.
I don't
I
believe
do
you.
feel a bit for Ilian.
I saw the
but
pain in your face when you aimed that gun
Did.
at my head.
We're done talking.
You may not want to feel it, but it's there.
Shut up, pull the trigger.
Why didn't you?
Just shut up.
You think
Octavia!
Octavia, no. Come on, up. Good on, Ilian. No, don't. Don't. You're gonna have to keep her down. Oh, shit. Shit.
Just make me feel something else.
Oh. She just wants to get away from. Oh my god.
Octavia?
My heart. Would it be wrong to say he's the rebound?
If I take a life to find a cure, does that make me a murderer?
More to the point, does it make you like the Mount Weather?
I don't know how to answer that.
Cage.
What if it can save us all? Would I be able to live with myself then?
She's got emotion.
Taking a life should never be easy. I hope it's not easy for you.
No.
I have to go.
Heartbreaking.
You too, Abby.
I feel so bad for Harper as well.
Still with me?
This sucks.
Your mother would be proud of the man you've become.
I know I am.
Ooh.
You floated my mother.
Bell. He's just angry. He's just upset of himself. That's not him. That's not him. Good idea. Good on you all. Oh man, I just love the fact that O is being strengthened as a character.
Sorry.
You can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved.
No, you can't. Oh, I just feel for him.
None of us like what we're doing here. Not even.
Plus, he's a dick, so it's easier for you.
This works. We survive. It's as simple as that.
In the end, she's nothing like Cage whatsoever.
Someone other than me was going into that oven.
Oh.
Now that's a survivor's move.
No. Yeah, it was very, very great to see certain, like Octavia's story, for example. I'm just so intrigued to see where that goes now, because it seems like she's ditched her ties to being a killer. I don't think she's ditched fighting altogether, because that's Octavia at the end of the day. She's always been a warrior. She's always been one to fight. So I don't think she's done completely fighting or whatever, but I think she's just ditched, what was it, the Sky Ripper name that she was associated with. Yeah, I think that's done and dusted now, but fighting is still pretty much Octavia's jam. So I really look. Let's just start off with Octavia's story, because I thought that was really, really beautifully done. It was heartbreaking as well when she was willing to die for this release of pain and that she's been suffering, and we've acknowledged all throughout this season that she's been suffering, that the bloodlust with what Pike did to Lincoln has been churning inside her, and it's created this monster in a sense. But I just love seeing where it's gone this season, and I thought this was a really, really spectacular. I thought this story portrayed a really, really fantastic job in terms of coming, I guess, to the end of Octavia's story, in terms of her bloodlust arc that she's been having, and it was really, really heartbreaking. Just to see her willing, like she was edging on death, basically. She was telling death to bring it, and she needed that comfort from Ilian as much as she was a bit about, considering the fact that he could have died by her hand, and he has sabotaged, well, not just the fact that he sabotaged the chances on the Ark using Alpha Station as a backup, but he has been associated to a lot of things that's really pissed off Octavia, including 2 of the victims that she killed earlier this season. But I really think that Ilian was the support that she needed. I mean, Ilian suffers a bit of a similar ounce, but then again, it's not, like, Ilian can't compare his tragedy with Octavia, especially in Octavia's eyes, considering the fact that he was influenced. The things he did to his own family was under the influence of a batshit crazy AI, whereas Octavia, like, she feels like she could, I think it's that instinct of, like, well, she couldn't really do anything, I guess, considering she could have died if she was, like, gonna charge for Pike and all of that, because Pike would. But still, I think there's an ounce of Octavia, especially when she's going through guilt and she's blaming Bellamy and everything that's going on inside her head. I think there's an ounce of her asking, I could have done something, and, I mean, to be fair, she didn't have a choice at the end of the day, considering she was, with the Reaper stick. Link had accepted his fate, and Octavia couldn't really do anything, so, yeah. But I really love the fact that, I love the symbolism of what Octavia did when she was ditching her Sky Ripper identity, by dropping her things in the water, leaving a part of her behind. So it was really great. But she also had a little thing with Ilian, which I'm not going to take into any sincerity. I do think that Octavia is kind of grateful for him giving her kind of a reason to fight on, because Ilian could have let her succumb into the Black Rain, but he wants her to keep on living. He doesn't want her to perish. Even though, I mean, it's this whole situation that she's going through with Jasper, isn't it? Like, it's something similar, like, this pain is unbearable. Losing the one you love, it kills you inside, and you think that life is meaningless, and Ilian's giving her a reason to fight for, and, I mean, she did have that thing. Like I said, I don't see anything, because it's kind of like Bellamy and Raven, isn't it, when they had that little thing in season 1. So I guess I'm not kidding when I'm saying Ilian is kind of the rebound. Because because Raven was heartbroken, she needed something to remove the pain, and Bellamy propped up, and voila. So same with Ilian. I don't take that into any sincerity. If it does, then I'll be a bit, because, I mean, it could be the most charismatic, ship of all time, but I don't know. It would just seem a bit weird, considering the fact that, I think Ilian was used, plain and simple, call it as it is, to have Octavia feel anything besides pain. So, yeah, I don't see extending any further, but if it does, then I'll be like, okay. But I really loved Octavia's story. Bellamy's as well, especially with the message about, you can try to save people. It's like that hero message, isn't it? When you're a hero, like, there are some people who cannot be saved no matter how hard you try, and it's that same situation with Bellamy. He tried his best to save those 2 people, and at the end of the day, he had no other choice but to let them succumb to their injuries, and it was heartbreaking, especially with Bellamy not being able to do anything. Not just that though, but he's already got a bit of guilt going on with not just the fact that he let all that shit happen when he sided with Pike, and he's trying to be a better man for it, but Octavia as well. He talked about not being able to save his responsibility, and that was kind of eating him up inside the most, considering my sister, my responsibility. So it was really heartbreaking to see Bellamy go through those emotions and realize those 2 people had to die, because, I mean, he wouldn't be able to save them anyways, even if he got out and tried to get the rover out of the mud, because he would have died as well. Like Kane said, 2 is better than 3, basically, in terms of fatalities. But there was a lot of grief going through Bellamy. And it kind of didn't help that that Kane said your mother would be proud of who you are, because as Bellamy pointed out, Kane did float her. So yeah. But you gotta give props to Kane as well, considering he's a great father figure to Bellamy, and that's always what I've seen in this show. Like, Kane has always tried to do, he's always tried to give Bellamy the best in terms of, like, how to go about certain, like, even when he was under the influence of Pike, he tried to give him the best. So he's always been like that father figure, and they kind of do look alike. Coincidence? We're starting up a new theory. No, in all seriousness though, I think the anger mixed with the fact that, Bellamy's got that mindset of, you have no room to talk about my mother considering you're the one that floated her. It was kind of the reason why he retorted that way to Kane when he said that your mother would be so proud. But that's the thing though, Bellamy's trying so hard. He's trying so hard to be... He's got ruthless methods. As we've seen throughout the show, he's a character that can produce ruthless things, but he does his best at the end of the day. So yeah, it's heartbreaking for Bellamy, but it makes for a really, really, it makes for a really, really juicy story as well, like, especially with everything that's gone on, with the situation back at episode 2 when he, was, like, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, it's testing how much of a good man he is, and I think that's the arc for Bellamy at this point, like this testing about like if he can be a good man, following where it was obviously going through season 3. I mean, he did have regrets midway through, but now Pike's out the picture. I think there's this test of, can he really be a good person? And yeah, like all of these things that come up, the slaves or the Hydra generator, the need to save those 2 people, but he's stuck in the mud and he's got no other options unless he dies. I think it's a test of character for him. That's the way I see this season of the 100 for Bellamy at the minute in terms of his story, because he's not exactly with Clark most of the time. It's like half and half, and the times he's not with Clark, I mean, it is there are areas intertwined with the whole radiation story going on, but personally for his story, I think it's testing his character so much, and I really, really love the direction they're going with Bellamy this season. So yeah, I really felt so bad for him when he realized he couldn't do anything and he had to admit to those 2 people that there was nothing to be done. So it was heartbreaking to see. And we're going to Imori's story, which was great to see her get a bit of spotlight in this episode, considering the fact that she thought she was gonna get hung to dry. She thought she was done and dusted, especially when they were talking about the fact that, oh, we basically need a sacrifice. And you can't blame Imori for thinking, oh shit, this is it for me. Considering the fact that she's always been cast out, like she's had that story about being cast out by her own, and she doesn't want to have that same feeling again. Oh, I'm the most expendable, because of my deformity and all of that. You can't blame her for for thinking that way again. So I feel so bad for Imori, and I can't really blame her for stringing Bayless up. Like, she had that story cooked up in terms of, okay, well, Bayless did this to me and my brother. Not that it's not true. I think what happened to her and her brother is authentic, but Bayless was like, oh, so I can string this on him, and and it's true, but I can just make it out as Bayless, as if Bayless is that guy, so it can solidify my survival, and he can take the rap and all of that. So yeah, so I think that aspect is true, but Bayless wasn't he was like, that's what Amori said, and it was like, interesting. Good stuff, decent stuff for Amori, but at the end of the day, I can't blame her whatsoever, because she's a survivor, and she will do anything to survive at the end of the day, and, that includes stringing someone up to get cooked, basically. So, I'm not exactly saying, well, this was a bit of a cheap thing for the 100 to do with Amori, because it's not. It's part of Amori's character at the end of the day. Same with Murphy. I mean, they've both been the black sheep, I guess, of, their clan, I guess. And both have had difficult upbringings, but, they do what they do to survive at the end of the day. I mean, a lot of people do in this show anyways, but with the setbacks that Murphy and Amori have, which make for a really, really great couple, which is probably why they click on, kidding. But they both have similar areas in terms of being the survivor and all of that. And Bayless comes along, causes shit, and a good opportunity clicks into Imori's head. So I don't blame her whatsoever for stringing up Bayless and all of that. So yeah, she's there for herself at the end of the day, and that's the way it's always probably going to be. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed Imori. I enjoyed the spotlight focusing on Imori in this episode because I think she needed that. And I think the show does a decent job in highlighting certain characters that might not get the main spotlight, like Bellark, a lot of the time, because Harper had a bit of the spotlight on her as well, after she was suffering her own kind of guilt after shoving that guy off and leaving him to die. So, I think it's that bit of survivor's guilt that's going on, because it could have been her, and if she didn't push him, then he would have survived. So, yeah, I really, really loved the brief focus we had on Harp, but it was enough to make you feel so bad for her at the end of the day. So yeah, and we're feeling so much for a lot of characters in this episode alone. Octavia, Bellamy, Imori, Harper, Abby. Like, this is the episode where you just feel so bad for everyone. If this was Friends, this would be called the one where you feel bad for everyone. So yeah, I've been watching Friends more frequently than usual. I mean, I loved it before, but I don't know, I've just been watching it more frequently than usual. But yeah, as I digress, it was really, really great of an episode. Abby as well. Now, I want to make a point about this, because I made a bit of a point earlier this season about the whole bone marrow situation, and another story in the 100 that also revolved around bone marrow, and I may have mentioned it in my reaction. I'm not so sure if it's in the YouTube edit, but it's Mount Weather, isn't it? And that's where I was worried about this season going. Are we going to go to the Mount Weather side of things, where we have to sacrifice our own in order, well, not our own, but we have to sacrifice someone in order for our own to survive? And that's where it's come down to, and Abby feels like shit at the end of the day. And that's the difference between her and that slimeball Cage, because Cage was absolutely hell-bent on being a ruthless, sleazy son of a bitch, whereas Abby was struggling to come to terms with what she would have to do. And I really, really like that message from Kane. I think Kane is a really, really great beacon of hope for a lot of characters. He tried to be there for Bellamy, and he was being there for Abby, and I really, really love his involvement. But Kane offering Abby that advice about the fact that she still has humanity at the end of the day, and this is never going to be easy unless you're Cage, who was happy enough to sacrifice as many people as he wanted to. And like I said, that's the difference, I feel, between Cage and Abby, considering the fact that, I mean, Cage was passionate, don't get me wrong, but the way he did it came in such a vicious and vile approach, whereas Abby was uncertain. She was skeptical, and she was absolutely worried, bless her. So, and she might come to that point where, after whatever happens to Bayless, she might reflect, think of herself as scum, etc., etc. Like I said, I don't think that piece of shit would feel that way anyways. But I really, really loved the that brief bit of focus on Abby as well in this episode. So it was really, really great stuff. Also gotta love the scenes where Clark was in that nice house as well with Murphy and Imori living it up like they're a couple. It was really, really, I thought it was cute, and I thought it was really, really great for Clark to experience everything: a nice, luxurious shower, a cozier bed than she will ever have been in. So I thought that was a really, really nice scene to see. I also loved the discussion with Imori and Clark as well, considering the fact that Clark was when they were talking about, oh, we're gonna kill Bayless and all of that. And Imori was basically said, have you ever killed for revenge? I'm not sure if that guy who was the executioner for Finn counted as revenge for Clark's head, but I mean, she's had the opportunity before, as we remember with Emerson back at episode 4, I think it was, of season 3, and yeah, no, it wasn't episode 4. I think it was episode 5 actually. Yeah, it was, because episode 4 we had the little fight with Rowan and Lexa. But yeah, I mean, she did kill Emerson at the end of the day, but I call that self-defense, not revenge, considering Emerson hasn't done it. He was trying to kill a lot of people, and he had Clark in the chokehold, but I call that self-defense more than revenge at the end of the day, so yeah. But it was just really, really great stuff to see Imori and Clark throw it down, I guess, with the whole right on killing Bayless talk going on, considering there was a nice bit of story placed on it, and Clark, I think Murphy's going to be the only person who knows the truth about Bayless, but as far as Clark's concerned, he calls her and her brother shit, so, and I think that might go on for as long as maybe the show will continue, because I don't think I don't think Imori's going to feel a bit of guilt, but because at the end of the day, she's doing what she needs to do to survive. The problem is, this could backfire. We could go to the next episode and, I don't know, Bayless might not be a good enough candidate and we're back to square one again, so, oh, you know, I think Bayless's mother also did this to me as well, so no, in all seriousness, Imori hopes that this has got to work, but I mean, he's the sacrifice they need, so it worked out well for Imori and her story. Like I said, I think her story is authentic anyways, in terms of me and my brother were harassed and all of that, because especially with the defect in her hand, you're gonna get bullied by some pieces of shit. And I think that's true, but like I said, Bayless showed up at the right time and the right opportunity, and it all goes along with Imori's character on survival. And yeah, Bayless had to take the rap, so yeah. But it was a great episode. I really, really loved it. And like I said, you feel so bad for a lot of characters in this episode. They were going through a lot of hell emotionally, and it was just really, really beautifully done in all the areas. But yeah, I will see you guys next time though. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!